Hey, what's up guys, this is ZvZ here and I am going to be casting a 1 versus 1 between the players. Bam! It's going to be IMLosirA from Team IM, it's going to be the red Zerg in the center right position, and in the top right position his opponent Argos is going to be spawning from Team ZvZ. And for those of you who do not know, ZvZ is formed by two teams, that is ZNIT and Team Next, who has joined and become one team now called ZvZ. So his player name is going to be Argos. Both players are going to spawning as Zerg, so we're going to have a Zerg vs Zerg. The map for today's game is going to be Scrap Station. And Scrap Station is a fairly small map, but it's very long travel distance by ground, you can see here. So it's not very short rush distance, but it's still a small map, so not very long macro games on this map. And if you take a look at how many expansions there are, you can and how wide open it is, and how difficult it is for a Zerg to defend its expansions, you can just imagine how few games there are Zerg versus Zergs on Scrap Station, which are long-term macro games. But anyways, in this game we're going to have two Korean players duking it out. And I don't know where this game is from, but that doesn't matter, because IMLosirA is a he recently moved up to the S code, so he's a great player in my opinion, because he won GSL March Code A, so he's now an S code player, and I'm excited to see how well he's going to do in the future. And ArgOsZeNEX is not very accomplished player yet, but still a great player, going to be ranked on 8th place in a Masters League in Korea, so just outside of the Grandmasters League, which is really good. And IMLosirA is ranked first in his Masters League, so probably going to move up to the Grandmasters any minute or any day. We can see that IMLosirA just started his spawning pool, is like 1/3 done, but ZvZ has his spawning pool up and also has his speed up. I'm sorry about that coughing. I was sick for such a long time. I really wanted to cast some, but because I haven't been casting for like a week or so, but I probably won't cast again after I'm been sick or while I'm sick, because of all this annoying coughing. I really apologize for that, but you have to look at it from my point of view. I really wanted to cast some games, and I really love doing that. But we can see that both players have their fast expansion on the way. IMLosirA's already done, and they both have their speeds, circling speeds on the way. So IMLosirA going hatch first is going to be just fine, because ZvZ didn't spawn any Zerglings in the start. And in a Zerg versus Zerg, you really have to be aggressive if you're going spawning pool first, because at least one of you is going to go for hatch first. And wow, that is a lot of Zerglings from IMLosirA. We can see a nice timing here from ZvZ, going to move in as soon as his speed finishes, but it's going to do a run by and scout exactly what's going on in IMLosirA's main, and seeing that he has a Roach Warren on the way. And even going to pick off a drone, almost no microing that away, so that speed is really annoying for IMLosirA to deal with, but so great for ZvZ. I think both of these Zerglings will survive here. No, they didn't, but one Zergling did survive, so not too much harm done. The more Zerglings is going to go in. And IMLosirA is actually going for the Baneling nest. And I'm really unsure if that's going to work or not, because IMLosirA already has his roaches out, and I would assume that he scouted the roach horn. Yes, he did. So and also has an overload here to scout it at any moment, so Banelings aren't going to do much against roaches. And now that IMLosirA has scouted his Banelings morphing in, he's going to pump some more roaches. I would assume no, he's going to make his Baneling nest himself, and spawning a lot of more Zerglings. But nice job there, suiciding like one Zergling or something to blow up Baneling, so that is definitely a nice exchange. Now looking to be aggressive with his roster, but he's going to be spotted by this Overlord. In the other stage of the game, in a Zerg that is not many anti-air, so you can just put your Overlords anywhere around the map. So now LosirA is going to scare away at those Zerglings with his roaches and his own Zerglings, but ZvZ is looking to do a run by. And I'm curious to why, because he has a bunch of roaches and Zerglings just marching into his base, so a base race at this point is not an option, but he has a spike all up, and nice job from LosirA that's sniping and bailing. But now he can focus on this spike roller, but no, Zerglings are coming back and surrounding these roaches. These roaches are doomed. But LosirA has Banelings, so I'm going to blow up all those Banelings from ZvZ, so nice use of Banelings there. And this Baneling just detonated into nothing there. But still a bunch of roaches remaining for LosirA. He said 22 Zerglings are being produced for Argos here, and a bunch of Zerglings are just streaming across the map for LosirA. So let's see if this game is going to end soon. I think that all those Zerglings were picked up, so LosirA will have to book it out of it, because I think he has less Zerglings, and if he doesn't have any Banelings in place, and these Banelings are morphing, it's blowing up all Zerglings, so he's in trouble right now. He should escape it while he can, while he could. And meanwhile, while producing all those units, LosirA is sitting on so much minerals there for while he's produced a bunch of Zerglings right now. But Argos actually has got his second base up and running, and he's running off 2 gas as opposed to LosirA's 1 gas, and LosirA actually invested in roaches, so LosirA is not in great economic shape as for now, but he has map control and he has a bunch of Banelings morphing in. Let's take a look at the units tab. We can see that he I think that our blue player has a drone advantage and an army advantage, so great play from him there, being on top of everything. And 2 Banelings can blow up a bunch of Banelings for Argos. He goes to suicide all his Banelings, so Banelings blowing up Banelings all over the place and just throwing away their resources and everything. And the spine crawlers are going to guard this choke just fine. Going to be poking at 1 Baneling there. Also, 1 other spine crawler is going to spawn here, so LosirA will have to fall back and take towards some layer units. No players has even started a layer yet, so, and we're 11 minutes into the game. That is definitely peculiar. But yeah, we can see that LosirA is just now grabbing a second gas and also going to grab an Evo chamber. Right now ZvZ is, no, not ZvZ, but Argos is going to be running a 4 gas if you just put some drones in, and that is, so I'm curious to what buildings he's going to put up. As for now, the only buildings he's doing is spine crawlers. And there comes his layer at his expansion, not interested in revealing that at all. Which, because his main is really exposed to overlords from all directions, and also those potential mutalisks. Which said LosirA is going to stick to his roaches because he's upgrading missiles weapon level 1. But as for now, we only has Zerglings, who has 8 roaches on the way, so he will be using that upgrade just fine, and just now starting his lair at his main, which could be scouted fairly easily by Argos, but he doesn't have an overlord in place to do that. Take a look at the army tab. We can see that LosirA is ahead in army, but I wonder how many of those are drones. Let's do like this. We can see that he is ahead in army, but he's behind in worker. No, he's ahead in worker and ahead in army, so doing a great job here. LosirA going to be oh, let's remove that. Going to crawl himself back into this game. with his roaches, doing a great job. But now we can see that our blue player Argos is going to have his spire up somewhere, and it's almost halfway done already. So when this spire pops, and he will most likely spawn a bunch of mutas, he will going to be such a great shape. And now, because sticking to this tier 1 units for so long, LoSiRA is forced to spawn an auxiliary hatchery, and meanwhile going to work on these rocks with his roaches, because he will have to get a shorter attack path if he's going to go for so many slow ground units, which roaches are pretty slow. You can see their movement speed is only 2.25, while the Zerglings have a movement speed of 4.7 on creep, so no, 4.7 in total, so that is really good. Now we can see that 11 mutas is going to be spawning for Argos. That is just crazy how much minerals and gas saved up. I didn't look at that at all, and also has centrifugal hooks. That is bailing speed on the way. So now here comes this muta bomb consisting of 11 mutalisks. Well, it's just 9 here, but 2 more is coming here from the other expansion, and go to harass at his drone line, and just putting up his spawn crawler a tad bit too late. Going to easily be picked off by those mutalisks. No, actually leaving that alive. So that can be nice for LoSiRA later in the game, but he doesn't have any anti-air except for those queens and those spawn crawlers, so this is not looking good for LoSiRA at all. So if he can just pick off that queen and those spawn crawlers in time, he will be in such a great shape. So the only thing LoSiRA can do now is attack with his roaches, but there's too many spine crawlers here, so ZvZ is doing Argos is doing a great job. But look at this army from LoSiRA coming in, most likely going to kill off all those spine crawlers. But look at this, he has his muta balls just swinging around and going to take out all those ground units, which none of them can shoot air. So LoSiRA will have to do as much damage as possible, and then get out some anti-air units of his own. Most likely going to go for the hydralisks if anything, but take a look at the income tab. He has so few harvesters, he's such a bad shape, and all those units were picked up, so I don't think he has stand a chance in this game whatsoever. Take a look at the production tab. He's barely producing anything. It's like 1 drone and 1 Zergling at a time. Things is not looking good for LoSiRA right now, and it mainly depends on it mainly is because of his late layer. But look at all those roaches. I actually didn't see them on the minimap, but going to take off that main hatchery for ZvZ, but he has barely no drones left himself. Wow, take a look at the income tab. He has even less drones. So if we bring up this tab, we can see that LoSiRA had no army, and he has actually gone to GG, but he had the worker advantage, but that doesn't matter when you have no army. So good job Argos winning that game, and I think it all came down to LoSiRA not getting his layer take fast enough, and then when he got it, he didn't put up a spire. So great game from Argos, going to win that. And this is the last game where I'm going to be sick. I will be healthy in just a day or two, and then I will cast some more pro games, and I'll see you then.